Allow me to show you something.
Welcome back, Bears fans and football fans. Thank you for tuning to another episode on the island. Today, we're going to be talking about, where do the Bears go from here? After this humiliating, mind-numbingly stupid loss to the Detroit Lions, where we were up by 10 points, not once, but twice. And, I wanted to wait to give this video because, I didn't want to just brush it off and say, it's just the Bears being the Bears. What are we going to do? I mean, you passed the ball 2 out of 3 times inside your own 15-yard line. And, I'm sure you've heard other people talk about it. I'll just brisk over it quickly. But you're going to have the guy you benched, who is not a pocket passer, drop back 2 times in a clutch situation behind an offensive line with a right tackle, Germain Ifedi, who was cut by Seattle and was moved to guard earlier in the season to account for his lack of speed and hand movement. Okay? He was a first-round pick. It was a late first-round pick, but he was a bust. And we signed him, and it's just, folks, it doesn't make any sense. And we already know, if this head coach and this GM are not out of their positions by at least, I'm hoping it comes before the end of the season. Hopefully later this week after this video is posted, because if you want to check out my other video, talked about how we need to get Louis Riddick as our GM. That boy could be a huge piece in creating a great team. But, I've heard rumors that Atlanta's going to get him, so we'll see if the McCaskies actually get off their ass for once and decide to be proactive instead of going with the 100-year history that's gotten us 1 Super Bowl in the past 60 years, okay? And we didn't even win a Super Bowl. We won an NFL championship. It's not even the same thing. There weren't even the same amount of teams in the league. Nowhere close to it. But that's besides the point. The McCaskies need to fire everyone and start talking to Louis Riddick and offer him a goddamn job instead of waiting around and saving the feelings of Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace, even though they've destroyed our organization, okay? And that brings us to where we're at now. What are we gonna do, okay? We have so much cap on the defensive side of the ball. Our offensive line is in shambles. We don't have a quarterback. All of our wide receivers want to leave. They're like in Twitter posts. Hell, some of these wide receivers I don't mind. Obviously, I want A-Rob. Did he make a bonehead play, stepping out of bounds 1 yard early? Yes, he did, obviously. But Anthony Miller, what has he done? He's definitely got an opportunity. Javon Wims at least has the excuse of not having an opportunity. Matt Nagy doesn't even use him, so he can at least say that. The only thing he's known for is punching someone in the face. Anthony Miller's been in our fucking offense for the past 2 years. And what has he done? Nothing. He had a good year in 2018. No, really nothing since then. So, and like I said earlier, we have all of our monies on the defensive side of the ball. As you can see, our defense is starting to get figured out. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. You see Green Bay do it. You see Detroit do it. If Detroit can do it to us, what does that mean for the rest of the league? Jesus Christ. It's just like, where do we go, right? Where are we supposed to go from here? And I think we all know the obvious answer to begin with. Got to fire everyone. We got to restart. I would personally go check out my previous video. Give it a like. I'd really appreciate it. Get Louis Riddick. He has that player experience, sports analyst side of it, the media thing, which honestly I think it's kind of a bonus because you can actually see what they're evaluating. And if you see what they're saying and then it's proving to be true, obviously they know what they're talking about. These guys like Ted Phillips and Philip Emery and Ryan Pace, we have no clue what they did. Ryan Pace was at least associated with New Orleans. Ted Phillips and Philip Emery, what the hell were they with? strength and conditioning coaches. Like, Jesus Christ. So, first off, and if we can't get Louis Riddick, which we probably won't because the McCasseys are going to sit on their goddamn hands like they always do and wait till the end of the year, and all the other potential good GM candidates are going to be taken up, or at least be close to contracts, and we're going to be sitting there and just being like, oh, here you go. We want to spare your feelings, Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy. And it's like, this is a business. Why? The players get treated, they get thrown out like nothing, okay? If their end of their contract's up, they're gone. Who cares? But when it comes to the coach with the Bears, they give him every chance in the book. I just don't get it. So we need to get someone in the GM position who actually has experience and has not just experience, winning experience, a winning pedigree, has been a part and an intricate part of winning football games and putting together a good football team. Okay? If you get a GM, they'll hire the head coach as opposed to these owners influencing, hiring these head coaches, getting in these GM's ear because the owners are kind of saying like, yo, we brought you in here, like, you need to listen to us. That's what's happening. And then they listen. Ryan Pace clearly didn't know what he was talking about. And so combine that with the ineptitude of our owners, and then you get Matt Nagy, who can't adjust his offense for anything. Nothing. Bro, I already talked about it with Mitch. You're literally almost wanting to win the game in a certain way, and it just doesn't make any sense. But I'm getting off topic because that's the past, okay? We need to look to the future. Bring in a GM who knows what he's talking about. Give him the responsibility and stop influencing them to do whatever you want or what you think is right. We haven't had a Super Bowl in 35 years. Okay, the last time we went to numerous back-to-back was not even the Super Bowl era. We had NFL championships. I don't know about you guys, but it sounds pretty damn stupid to be in an argument with, say, a Niners fan. I'm from California. They bring up 5 Super Bowls. You know what I get to say? Hey, we have 10 NFL championships from 1950, 1958. It's just, it hasn't worked. Okay, we won a Super Bowl. If you check my other video talking about the collapse of the Chicago Bears, the last time we hired a GM with experience was in 1974. And he drafted Peyton and he put together the 85 team. His name was Tim Ferks from Minnesota, and he had 10 years of experience. It just blows my mind. So that's the first step. The second step is we can't reach for a quarterback. I know we want to draft one this year, but we need to make sure that that's our guy. That's what happened with Mitch. Okay, we're looking at this guy. I think his name's Kyle Wilson. I'm not sure. The guy out of BYU. He looks pretty good. But we have to think about this level of competition. I can't help but say that. They just lost to Eastern Coastal Carolina. I mean, like, what if that's not anything but just a sign that you should take a step back and reevaluate him? I don't know what is, okay? Because if he's taking losses to a school like Coastal Carolina, how's that going to transition to the NFL? And I know that he could, but I want to be sure. I want a guy that I feel confident with. If you look at Wilson, do you really feel 100% confident? Kyle Trask couldn't even beat out. He wasn't even a high school starter. D'Eriq King was the starter of his high school. A Florida coach just pretty much gave him an offer just out of seeing him at a camp. So it's like, okay, and yes, he's popping off. I'll give it to you, but out of 1 year, come on, I don't want that. I can't do it again. Okay. We did with Jay Cutler. He had a good year. He's young. But we reached again, and look how that worked out. We can't be reaching, okay? I'm going to do a separate video. I honestly think if for the right price, we should go after Sam Darnold, okay? If we get a good head coach, he has all the attributes. We just got to put it together, but only for the right price. I'm talking like maybe a second round, third round, and a player I'd be willing to give up for Sam Darnold. Trade back where you get some draft capital in the second round if, Say we trade away a guy like, Khalil Mack. I don't know. Allen Robinson. If we can trade, get Sam Darnold back, maybe get a pick, exchange some picks, I think that could work out for us really well. And, once we get the quarterback, once we get our head coach, once we get the GM, from there, it's just about surrounding the pieces. We have James Daniel. I like James Daniel. Cody Whitehair. He's a good player. We need new tackles. We never replaced Kyle Long. We need to use Cole Kmet. I don't even know if he's a good option because we haven't used him, okay? And that's the thing. Why are we signing a tight end to a 2-year, $10 million deal, but then drafting a tight end with our first pick, and then not using him? It just doesn't. That's why these coaches and this GM need to be fired, and they will be fired. That's why we need to get people with experience and know what they're doing to take hold of this franchise and get us back in the right direction, okay? And that needs to start as soon as possible. Anytime after this video, after the Detroit game, they need to be gone. They should have been gone after the Packers game. If you can't show up for your rival, what are you even there for, okay? You should know them better than anybody. If they're going to make you look like a fool, what's the point? Why are they still here? So, get a new GM as soon as possible. Fire everybody. Evaluate whoever you want to keep. Give these young guys, Javon Wims and Ridley, a chance. Cole Kmet a chance. See what they got. And, as for the defense, we may have to, definitely cut Buster Screen. Jesus Christ. We may have to trade Matt, guys. We're in the middle of a rebuild. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's either him or Kyle Fuller. You got to give up one, or we're just going to be stuck in cap hell. We could get rid of Akeem Hicks, but he's $12 million less than the cap, so cap hit than Khalil Mack. But, so that's what we just got to do. We just got to get people with experience and not reach. Okay, Ryan Pace talks about that all the time. You hear him, if you go back in the draft, we didn't reach. We really like this player. That's all you did. We need a weapon. You reached for Kevin White. We needed an edge rusher. You reached for Leonard Floyd. We needed a quarterback. You reached for Mitchell Trubisky. We need a tight end. You reach for Adam Shaheen. You could go on and on. So we need to stop reaching. And we need to fill the positions. We have a lot we need to fill, especially on the offensive side of the ball. We could take our pick. Everyone outside of David Montgomery, Tariq Cohen, and I wish A-Rob, I don't know if he's going to be back, are up to be replaced, except James Daniel. But thank you guys so much for just giving me a listen. I hope you guys enjoyed my analysis. I really appreciate you just giving me a view. Please leave a like, subscribe, and, just hold on. Hold on, Bears fans. I know it's tough. We've been through worse. Remind you, we went through 2 back-to-back losses. 55-14 and 51-22. Philadelphia and Green Bay in the Mark Trestman era. So, just remember, I know it's tough, but it can be worse. It can be worse. But thanks y'all again. Bear down and doses.